Have you ever wondered what really goes through a rescue dog's mind when they find their forever home? Because what happened with Labowski and my daughter Scarlet completely changed everything I thought I knew about the bond between kids and their pets. This isn't just another cute dog story. This is about something much deeper. Every single night, without exception, our 100-pound Pitbull Labowski sneaks into my 6-year-old daughter's bed. This massive dog curls up right next to her, his giant head on her pillow, taking up half the mattress. But here's the thing that keeps me up at night. It wasn't always like this. In fact, the first month was nothing like what you're about to hear. We almost gave up on him completely. And if you're still watching without subscribing, you're missing out on stories like this that'll change how you see the animals in your life. Trust me, you'll want to stick around for what happened next. When we first brought Labowski home from the shelter 2 years ago, Scarlet was only 4 years old. He was this awkward puppy with oversized paws and the saddest brown eyes. The shelter worker warned us he'd been returned twice before. Families said he was too attached or couldn't be left alone. But the moment Scarlet saw him through that metal bars, Labowski pressed his nose right back. It was like they recognized each other from another lifetime. The first few weeks were intense. Labowski wouldn't let Scarlet out of his sight, not even for a second. He'd pace by the front door when she left, whimpering until she came home. We thought it was normal new dog anxiety. We were completely wrong.
Then, one night, 3 weeks after adoption, something strange happened. Around 2 a.m., I woke up to check on Scarlet. When I opened her bedroom door, my heart nearly stopped. There was Labowski, somehow out of his locked crate, lying right next to her bed, eyes wide open, watching her sleep, protecting her like a guardian angel. Now, here's where people get divided, and I want to know what you think. Some say dogs should never sleep in kids' beds. It's dangerous, unhygienic. Others swear co-sleeping with pets creates the strongest bonds and helps kids feel secure. I was firmly in the first camp. Dogs needed boundaries, structure, their own space. But Labowski was teaching me something different. The next night, same thing. We checked cameras. This dog taught himself to unlock the crate with his nose and paw. A complex latch system figured out in less than a month. All because he needed to be near Scarlet. His determination was unlike anything we'd ever seen before. We tried everything. New crate, different location, keeping him in our bedroom. Nothing worked. He'd cry, scratch, escape. One night, exhausted and at our wits' end, my husband said, "What if we just let him stay with her?" I was terrified. What if he hurt her by accident? What if we were making a huge mistake as parents? But here's what happened. The first night we allowed Labowski in Scarlet's room, everything changed. He didn't just lie on the floor. He waited patiently until she was asleep, then carefully climbed onto her bed, positioned himself between her and the door, his head near her chest, listening to her breathe. For the first time since adoption, he slept through the entire night without a single whimper.
Scarlet woke up with the biggest smile. "Mommy, Labowski kept me warm all night. I had the best dreams." She wasn't scared. She felt protected and loved. And Labowski looked at us with peaceful eyes that seemed to say, "Thank you for finally understanding what I've been trying to tell you all along." The veterinarian explained something fascinating. Rescue dogs can experience separation anxiety disorder. But Labowski's case was unique. He wasn't anxious about being alone. He was anxious about Scarlet being unprotected. In his previous homes, he'd probably bonded with children who then disappeared. His brain was hardwired to protect the youngest member of his pack, and Scarlet was his pack now and forever. Now, every evening around 8 p.m., Labowski starts his routine. He follows Scarlet upstairs, waits while she brushes her teeth, sits by her bed during stories. The moment we turn off the light, he jumps up, does 3 circles, and settles right next to her.
It's like watching a sacred ritual. This happens every single night without fail, rain or shine, no matter what. But the truly incredible part? Last month, Scarlet came down with the flu. High fever, couldn't keep food down, absolutely miserable. Labowski refused to leave her bed for 3 days straight. We'd bring him outside to use the bathroom, and he'd sprint back upstairs the second we opened the door. He barely touched his food. He just laid there, his warm body pressed against hers, as if he was trying to absorb her sickness into himself.
The pediatrician said something that made me cry. She told us that studies show children who sleep with pets often have lower anxiety, better emotional regulation, and stronger immune systems. The physical closeness releases oxytocin in both the child and the animal. They're literally healing each other with every breath they share. People ask me all the time, "Aren't you worried he'll hurt her?" And here's my honest answer. I'd trust Labowski with Scarlet's life more than I trust most humans. I've watched him let her use him as a pillow, dress him in tutus, take food from his mouth. He's never once growled, snapped, or shown an ounce of aggression. He understands she's precious cargo. His entire existence revolves around keeping her safe. Last week, Scarlet had to stay at her grandmother's house for 2 nights. Labowski was devastated. He laid on her bed the entire time, nose buried deep in her pillow, refusing to move. He didn't eat his favorite treats, he just waited. When she came home, he jumped so high he nearly knocked her over, covering her face in kisses, his whole body wiggling with pure joy. That's when I realized something profound. We didn't rescue Labowski. He rescued us. He taught Scarlet about unconditional love, loyalty, and trust. He taught me that sometimes the rules we think are so important don't matter as much as listening to what our family truly needs. He showed us that love doesn't fit into neat categories or follow guidelines. It just is. It simply exists in its purest form. So every night when I peek into Scarlet's room and see that enormous Pitbull curled up protectively around my tiny daughter, both of them snoring softly, I don't see danger or poor boundaries. I see 2 souls who found each other exactly when they needed to. I see family in its truest sense. I see what unconditional love really looks like. Now, I have to ask you something, and I really want to know your honest opinion. Would you let a 100-pound rescue dog sleep in your child's bed, or is there a line you wouldn't cross?